Testing, testing. Okay. I'm not that happy with these routes when I first saw them. But again, I do understand where they're coming from. See, the amendment just came out like a few hours ago, and I'm just reacting to that live. So there is a reason why those that go to Orchard, they are actually bi-directional. Although one problem that I could see with this is that the buses actually go inside Orchard Turn for the other bound. I mean, it makes sense, right? You gotta bring the people along this area to the opposite bound, right? Especially if it's like for PM peak or something along those lines. Okay, again, I do know some of these CDSs, they use CTE. Some of them, they go via KPE. I'm aware of that. But the issue is that, okay, calling Orchard Turn, it's like, when you look at the way these routes are designed, it is indeed essential. There is an issue though. Orchard Turn, especially along Orchard Link, Grand Road, like around this area, it is very, 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 very prone to congestion. If you've taken 190, 972, and whatever goes inside Orchard Turn, 124, 143, and 167, you would know that the problems with it, with Orchard Turn in general. But again, I mean, you could send it via Orchard Boulevard, but the access penalty from here all the way to here, it would make it completely impossible. It would make it just not practical to even run the service as a bi-directional. So again, Orchard Turn, it's a bit more doorstep and it's kind of like a compromise. But the root cause of why these services have to be bi-directional in the first place is actually because of the lack of, like, let's say, conceptually an Orchard ITH. There is a lack of like a layover space. Like if they're coming from like, if they are going towards CTE like this for PM peak, they could actually lay over at like Marina Center Terminal or somewhere that's like near there. Raffles Boulevard, Raffles Avenue and stuff like that. Yes, I do know that when there are like all the road diversions, then the layover point, they would have to change it, or they would have to just hopefully depart on time and arrive on time, again subject to the traffic conditions. So this is the one downside of it. And what I specifically mean by lack of Orchard ITH in this case is that ideally you want them along Orchard Road and not Somerset Road Orchard Turn. Yes, I understand the reasons why they have to use Somerset Road and Orchard Turn, but the reason is because there is just no good layover point if the buses are along Scott's Road, Momine Road, Newton Road, Scott's, Newton, Momine. There is just nowhere to lay over the buses. And it's not really the most wise idea to like lay over along Clemenceau Avenue North or like Cane Hill Road or maybe somewhere inside Stephen. It's just not good. Like there is no place to lay over the buses, especially for like the KPE bounds. I mean, in compensation, they could do a 14E and just make it serve like this. But again, the way the routes are designed is that they serve like Newton MRT and Novena, like Momine area as well. So basically all the layover at Cane Hill, Clemenceau Avenue North or whatever, all the stuff about the layover of buses, it just goes outside the window. So, and it's not wise to like make literally all of the buses layover at Momine Road or anything, right? Because I myself, I'm not too familiar with like Momine Road or whether buses layovering there would actually obstruct the flow of traffic or stuff like that. But it still points to one reason: the lack of any ITHs nearby or any bus interchanges for that matter. And don't use Queen Street, it's way too far and there just isn't enough space to park. So it's like the lack of like proper layover spaces is kind of the reason why these routes end up having to be like bi-directional and end up having to use Orchard Turn like out of necessity. So as much as I'm not exactly happy with the way these routes actually turned out, I know this thing is kind of like a band-aid solution to Northeast Line overcrowding. And I'm not even one of those people who are like, we want Seletar Line quickly. Okay, I don't even know if that line is gonna end up being called Seletar Line, because Seletar is mainly just a namesake line. I don't even know. But the thing is that I know it's a band-aid solution. I do know that this is they are already resource strapped. This is like already the best that they could come up with, and hence, even though it calls Orchard Road bidirectional, which isn't exactly the most ideal, like I could understand why they routed buses in a certain manner, and then why they chose to do certain things, or why they chose to like route the buses in a certain manner. I understand. So don't get me wrong. I'm not here to like, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? No. I'm like, okay, I get what they're trying to do. It's just I feel that it's not the most efficient way to like do things. And that's why, okay, I'm 6 minutes in. Today I will make it my goal to create a more efficient, like actual City Shopper and actual CDS bus network in the first place, that it'll definitely have long-term sustainability. So obviously I need my map, and I remember most of the CDS. I'm not going to refer to like the route map or anything because it's all in my head, but if I need to do so and I get the routes wrong, I am so sorry. Okay, so first up, we are going to Jurong West, and we're gonna be looking at, anyway, I'm gonna be reviewing like every single CDS. So nowadays, like 651, the demand is like in between an SD and a DD. I think one of those trips, it has more demand, and then the other one has lesser. But this doesn't necessarily mean that this service is useless. Because here's the thing, this route already operates like 2 trips per day, and that alone, it already helps you save a lot. Because during off-peak, there is simply no reason to run this route, because like you just go to Boon Lay, you just ride service 30. And then from service 30, you just transfer to like, I'm not even telling you to take 502, like take service 30 and then you go to like Harbourfront, and then you just change to another bus service. So, and then in the future, you could even take like, you find some way to intercept Jurong Region, not Jurong Region line, I'm so sorry. Okay, forget what I said. Find some way to reach Circle Line Stage 6, be it via Jurong Region line or via service 30. I know it's not the most convenient, but okay, just take service 30 and then you transfer to Circle Line 6. See, here's the thing. Service 30 is not going to be like rationalized by CCL 6. In fact, the only thing that's gonna be rationalized is 30E, which doesn't even have like a lot of sustainable demand in the first place. It runs more than like 2 trips if I'm not mistaken. And but the thing is that like, you might even see more people in the future, they take service 30 to hit CCL 6 Circle Line, and then they transfer to Circle Line. So it's not like the demand is like gonna be reduced or anything. It's just that like with the introduction of these new MRT lines, the demand patterns are gonna change, but the service is still gonna stay because it still plays a role. It's local all-stop. But so yeah, I'm saying this because I'm trying to justify why there is literally no reason to run a CDS in Boon Lay for more than like 2 trips, according to like the demand nowadays. And when I think about Jurong West, I am quite tempted to like send one bus service inside this general area, but I realize that it's not the most efficient, because with a CDS, you need it to be like somewhat straight. It can wind at the very ends of the route, but it has to be somewhat direct as well. Like you cannot make it wind infinitely. You could use 654 as an example. So again, this part you're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to tell them take 241 or something along those lines, and then you intercept. You walk to this pair of bus stops and you make them intercept 651. The only enhancement I could think of when it comes to 651 is letting it call Pioneer Station so that people could hub spoke from 241 onto here. But then again, this bus stop is already quite congested. But as I say that, 651 literally only runs 2 trips per day, so I was like, I know it's walkable distance, but again, since it runs 2 trips per day, the only solution, the only real solution I have for like 651 is literally making it call along Jurong West Street 63, or maybe letting it call this pair of bus stops as well. So just 2 extra pairs of bus stops, and then again, I do understand the reason for letting 651 skip Pioneer altogether, but if you wanted to make this service a little bit more sustainable, then you could. I'm not saying you must, but you could think of that. And if I'm not mistaken, 651's route is like this. There's going to be an amendment soon, but I mean, because of the construction here, but anyways, it goes like this. So the only part of 651's route I would touch is basically this part. Now we will move on to 652, which is around here. So again, as usual, 652, I don't really have any complaints about this route because it does what it's supposed to do. Although the one thing is that past Mayflower, this route is pretty much fetching air. And it's kind of unfortunate, like this is, when you run a route like this, it's just bound to happen. So, although one suggestion is that since Upper Thompson Road, this area, nobody really boards 652 along here, right? And then they already have like alternative travel options. So, I don't even think this area is like required for like 652. So, all I could think of for 652 is that Avenue 4, right? Avenue 5. And then you make it go via Lentor, and then you let it terminate at Seletar Depot. That's the only thing that I can think of for 652. 653, I have no complaints about it because it's quite sustainable. Now let's look at 654. Okay, so 654, again, as usual. The reason why it's one of the best routes for AM peak is because it's straightforward. Like, it doesn't call outside for obvious reasons. Like, if you call outside, there's a river here. Nobody lives inside the river. So you let it call Rivervale Drive. You get all the packs from both sides of the road. Same for here. And then you just make it. So the current route of 654 is that it's like this. And anyway, that 654M, it actually, it's now kind of like a, I don't even know if 654M would be a thing, but anyway, forget what I said. The way I would enhance like the neighborhood sector is that, okay, I gotta make a sacrifice. So over here, right, I will compensate them by making them board another bus service along Sengkang Eastway. So, but for now, I'm going to make 654 basically skip here and then just go inside here like this, and then I'm gonna make it go this way. So what I'm doing is basically, since 654 it's already a straight route, right, I am going to make it go along this area. It's fast, you don't have to call any stops along this area. I'm gonna make it go Fernvale Street, Fernvale Road. So whatever nonsense that they have planned in store for wait, what the fuck was it? This one. Whatever nonsense service that they have planned in store, I'm not a fan of this, but I'm gonna tell you the way to do it. Wait, where was I? Okay. Shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna make it do this. Fernvale Road, Sengkang Eastway, and I'm just gonna make it beeline all the way to Sengkang West Bus Depot. So my plan for like 654 is basically you convert it to a full day service, and then from Sengkang West Depot you literally just let it go Sengkang East Way, Sengkang West Way, Fernvale Road, and then Street, Anchorvale, just beeline, and then go inside what's that road's name? Is it Anchorvale Crescent? Yeah, Anchorvale Crescent. So Sengkang West Way, Fernvale Road, Street, Anchorvale Crescent, and then just continue on with 654's original route. When I mean full day, I mean like weekday. I'm also going to introduce a weekend variant for this, but I'll save it for now. I'll talk about it later. 655, I do not have issues with this route. It does what it's supposed to do, so moving on. 656 is one of those services whereby I don't even know how to fix this service per se, because when you look at 656 route, again, it does what it's supposed to do. Like 656, it goes along here, and then if I'm not mistaken, it goes like this. Am I getting it correct? And then it does this. Like, I really have no complaints about 656 route. It's quite direct. The only thing I can think of is maybe extend it to like Montreal a little bit, or maybe think of like rerouting it to Sembawang Crescent and Admiralty Road. Admiralty Drive. You gotta keep in mind, Sembawang has no TEL, and it has NSL, but NSL is crowded. So I could be wrong, but Sembawang residents, please correct me if I'm wrong. The issue with 656 is that there is just not enough catchment. Like, okay, I understand the reason why they beeline it along, just go straight along Sembawang Drive, because they don't really want to waste time. But if you really want the catchment, you really have to think of like Sembawang Crescent and Admiralty Drive. Yes, they could just take 859 and hub spoke to 656, but the thing is, 656 doesn't really have a lot of demand. I do know that it's double deckers for the AM trips, but again, I say that because I understand that like sometimes AM and PM, their demand could fluctuate, but if you wanted to fix 656, you could make it go a little bit here, or actually instead of making it terminate at like Canberra Road, you could make it go inside Montreal a little bit. But then again, if you make it go inside Montreal, then you're probably gonna have to like make this part a little bit linear, and there are new flats coming along here, so it's not like you're able to change the direction of 656 for that matter or anything. But I would say if you go inside Montreal, then you would have to keep the straight part. But these are just suggestions. I myself am not super familiar with 656. Now 657, no complaints about this one because it does what it's supposed to do. The only issue is that it tends to get trapped outside of like IMM, but it has to go outside IMM to even reach Toh Guan Road, Jurong E71 in the first place. So no complaints about that. 660, I also have no complaints about that bus service. 661, Pasir Ris, no complaints about that one because it does its job. What other bus services are there? I don't have complaints about this one. Let me see. Wait, I have to talk about the rest of the services, right? Let me just list them down. Yeah, I need to talk about these as well. Wait, I cannot remember. I'm so sorry. So, okay, I'm just gonna... There's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, because I just got reminded about it. Let me take a look at 655. 655's route, it's actually quite straightforward. I know this thing doesn't get a lot of like PM peak demand. AM peak, I'm pretty sure there's demand, so it was like, I think it was like this. And people do use this one as kind of like a feeder as well. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like this. Oh crap, I forgot the route. I think it was like I think it was like this. So again, it wouldn't be wise to let it wind inside Champions Way because this thing has to be, it has to take the most direct route to like this general area. And it would make no sense for this thing to like go along BKE as well, right? I mean, if you really wanted to make it go along BKE, because here's the thing. There is 951E as well, which serves like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like this, and like this as well. So it's quite, like, by design, there is really nothing wrong with these services. It's just unfortunate that 665 during PM peak, it just doesn't get a lot of demand because people don't leave they go to the office at the same timing, but they don't necessarily like leave at the same timing. They might go for dinner or stuff like that, and that's the reason why 665's PM peak demand, it tends to like be a little bit lower, right? So yeah. Oh my god, I really don't know how to... There's nothing wrong with them as well. And it's not like you could give up this area or give up this area or give up this area. No. You still have to serve these areas. Let me think about it. Because this side and this side, they're equally important. And okay, I think there is actually no fix for this one. I was like, what if we make one bus service go via BK instead? But then again, there's a reason why 587, that one did not survive. And they didn't even attempt to use a CDS to replace it. So I was like, okay, never mind. Unless you want to revive 587 as like some form of CDS, then okay, go ahead, but I'm not even sure that if that would even get demand in the first place. But when I look at the design of like 665 and 951E in general, I really see no issue with these routes. I guess it's like, it just cannot be helped. All you could do is basically just control 665 during PM peak, I guess. Like downsize them. It still has to run, but you have to downsize them. So this one's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, the other fix is probably since 665 goes to Dhoby Ghat, right? So you might think of some way to let it intercept like NSC instead of using like CT, SLE, but then again, it depends on like NSC's alignment and its entrances and exits. I'm not even sure if 665 could even use NSC. Again, no fix for this one. I'm gonna skip Punggol for now because that one is another can of worms. Now 668. This one is a little bit hard to fix, but it's a bit disappointing. I would say, cause could I actually? Okay, thank you. So the thing about 668 is that it serves the areas that 652 doesn't cover, because 652, it does this, right? So 668, it does this. The demand is usually up till here. So again, I think this one is due to the problem with the way it is structured. Like, there's a Y junction here, so I wouldn't even be thinking about going inside. So I guess the only real way that you could fix this is, instead of making it go like, well, one big round and it terminates like this, right? If you really wanted to prioritize the packs inside, then I'm like, okay, go here, go here. Whether you choose Yio Chu Kang Road or you choose Ang Mo Kio Avenue 9, it doesn't matter, but at the very least, it could more easily did hit to like Seletar Depot. Again, don't really have a fix for this one, but it's like, if you make it did hit from here all the way, it'll be a waste. So it's like, it's more of one of the cases whereby you might as well call stops at these roads, right? So all I could think of is just, instead of like letting it end at these bus stops, why not change the direction? So that is my fix for 668. 671, the route is fine as it is, so I'm not gonna touch that. 672, it's also fine as it is. 674, also fine as it is. Which areas did I skip? Oh, sorry, 670, also fine as it is. Yishun is, in general, is fine. The one that I have to fix is the ones that are in like the northeast, if I'm not mistaken. People do have ideas of sending this thing to Tampines North, so I've talked about it before, so I don't have to like elaborate on this one. Okay, I think I need to fix this one. This one is like morning only. Route-wise, I think it's still okay-ish for a morning-only service. So if this one does its job, I'm not gonna say too much about this one because both buses are DDs. I think there's nothing wrong with this one, honestly. Unless you were to somehow... No, don't merge them. I think this one is fine. Okay, 92E is a much easier fix. So this one, again, it just involves changing direction. So what I mean by that is basically, you know, now 982 goes here, right? So all you have to do is just change the direction of it, let it go inside Brickland, and like this. Basically make this the end point so that it could dip hit to the nearest depot more easily. Just change the direction of this. Wait, let me just quickly run through my checklist. This thing. I need to talk more about this one. Wait, have I talked about the... this one, yes. Okay, this one... Dover and Clementi in general, it's not that high demand, and 667 already does a good job at linking whatever places it links. People even take 667 to school, so I was like, there's nothing wrong with 667. It just so happens that like it's not one of those higher demand services. It's still fully seated, so I think that's still okay, because 667, it's not meant to like run high capacity buses in the first place. So I was like, okay, fine. And right now the demand is still okay-ish. The FRR is still not that bad. It's below 100% for sure, but it's not that bad. If I were to estimate, it's probably around like 40 to 60%, if I'm not mistaken. There's nothing wrong with this. I talked about this. I talked about this. Okay. Right. So I need to talk about like... Alright, I just need a mental note on this. Got it, right. I talked about this as well. Alright, I think I got it. I basically need to talk about Northeast. I just wanted to make sure that every single other service that I've talked about, yeah, I covered this one as well. So unfortunately, I kind of have to like zoom out a little bit so that I can oh my god, I can show Sengkang and Punggol at the same time. Oh my god. Oh, this is a disaster. Okay, but whatever, I'm just gonna use this for now. Because I need to show them like a little bit, I need to show you guys a little bit big picture. So what I'm trying to say is that connectivity wise, I made 654 do this. I gave up the stops here, but for good reason. And then an existing route which I didn't touch at all. If I'm not mistaken, it's like yeah, like this. There's already 671. So when you do this kind of thing, you aim to like fill up all the gaps in between. And what I mean by that is that you see, what is that useless service? This one. This to me is just like another bad 671 clone. I do understand why they introduced this. It's to separate the demand going towards Fernvale and those already on 671. The reason why this even has to be a thing in the first place, it's because, as you can see, 671 and 374, they cannot even connect nowadays. And yes, you could just extend 374. I mean, even 374, I think it's destined to extend inside and not even touch 671. So again, when you extend 374, what did I just say? Okay, I'm gonna repeat myself. 374. Ideally, you want this to touch, but then there are problems when you try to extend 374's route. It kind of like defeats the purpose of having 374 in the first place, right? Like when you try to extend it haphazardly, like, you know, do this, and then I don't know how you're gonna loop it like this. There are problems basically. So because of that, people aren't even able to take 374 to intercept 671 in the first place, and therefore you even need this useless bus service. Why do I call it useless? Okay, I have another solution for this. So their actual 674, it serves like what, Jalan Kayu, and then it goes like this, right? Oh my god, it's you see, part of 674's part of 679's route, I already replaced it with 654 and I made this service full day. So again, I need to fill up the gaps, right? I sandbag this sector. Either you go on top and take 654, or I'm gonna give you guys another option. Go below, go the Sengkang West Way. It also touches this side of Anchorvale, so that's good. So I'm gonna say sorry. I'm gonna apologize to the people along here, but I'm gonna compensate them with something. Sengkang West Way, and you know what? I'm just gonna follow their original route that goes Jalan Kayu and then Sengkang West Avenue, Sengkang West Road, Yio Chu Kang Road, Yio Chu Kang Road, and then CT. Okay. So watch. This route within Sengkang, it's straight. The problem with the city shoppers last time was that they didn't have enough catchment. But when you want to get catchment, it has to be straight. When you want to make this city shopper service sustainable, why not think of serving more than one town? But you take the straightest route. So what I'm gonna do is basically, from here, right, Sengkang, I'm going to make it go up to Punggol. I'm just going to make it beeline all the way. So I'm not going to touch 673. 673 could stay. It only runs like 2 trips per day. So if you want to go inside, I'm just going to say take 673. This one, it's meant to be bound for like, you know, the city. But what I'm gonna do with this new city shopper service that I know you cannot see the colors well, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna use a lighter color. I'm filming from my like older phone, so it's not as good. Okay, I think right now you're able to. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, this is why I wanted to use a different color. Okay. So this new bus service, it's entirely gonna be straight, and for a reason. You can take the feeder services out, and then you hub float to this bus service, which is like straight in the first place. So again, what do I want to do with this service? Like this new service, again, here, I'm touching this sector and this sector as well by sending it to Jalan Kayu, right? I'm not changing the purpose of 679. I'm just like doing this. But instead of making this stupid troll, which I already covered with 654, 679, basically, I replaced it with like a city shopper. So I'm gonna make it go straight, Sengkang East Road, straight, and it's quite near Sengkang MRT as well, over here. I'm gonna make it go straight. I am not gonna make it interfere. I'm not gonna let it interfere with like 673. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna let it do this. Punggol Way. And then Over here, I'm gonna let it go inside. North Shore Drive. And I'm not done yet. Go inside. And I don't know where the starting point is, but basically what I want to do within the North Shore sector is that I don't even know what I want to call this bus service, but let's just say we're gonna use them. Okay, just so that people don't think this is a real bus service and it's just a proposal, right? I'm gonna do this. And what I'm gonna do with it is that, so I'm just gonna simplify it, like Punggol Way, right? This is Sengkang. So I'm gonna make it beeline through Sengkang. Sengkang West Way, East Way, and Sengkang East Road, and then Punggol Way. You get the idea. You get what I'm trying to represent by this. It's supposed to be straight, except at the Jalan Kayu sector, whereby I have to take I have to like route it through to Yio Chu Kang Road, right? So yeah, and then from here I am going to make it go inside. Don't waste time going inside here, but do this. And then you could let it lay over. You know what? Since it's a full day service, why not? Why not just do this? Why not just make this thing Punggol Coast to like Orchard Loop? Yes, I understand 679 is supposed it's supposed to serve the city, but hang on for a while. I have a plan for this. Again, I'm making this route because I want the entire straight line catchment from Punggol and Sengkang. Because if you just serve one town, you're not gonna get enough catchment. And obviously, I'm gonna make this thing full day as well. So my own plan is that, I don't even know what I want to call this, but okay, I'm gonna put this on hold for now. Punggol Coast to North Shore to Sengkang West to Orchard Loop. I'm really bringing back City Shopper. This thing, it will be Sengkang West Depot to Anchor Vale, all the Vales, all the Anchor Vales, all the River Vales to CBD. This hex version is basically the exact same thing, except I am going to be making it Orchard Loop. So this one it's going to be like, I'm going to make it this thing Monday to Friday, and then this thing it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, and public holiday. So I actually got a plan. It's full day, right? So okay, it makes sense. So going back to whatever the hell I did with 6x4, where did I? Oh my god, where did I do? Did I erase it just now? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna. Okay, take a look at the red line. It's my new 6x4 is going to start from Sengkang West Depot. It's going to do this. Okay, and anyway, I already compensated the people here. I'm just telling them, okay, you either take 6x4 on top, or you take like this new conceptual 679 below. Okay, so yeah, okay, just focus on the red line. Sengkang West Depot, Anchor Vale, River Vale, and then within the city, I'm going to do two things. So I'm not going to change the route. It's still going to use KPE, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down to here. So what I'm going to do here is that, okay, how am I going to do? Okay. So I'm just gonna do the Monday to Friday version. So go here, exit, and then what am I gonna do it? Okay, just do it the style of like 36. So 654, gonna do this, and then down you go. And obviously 654 is just gonna be Central Boulevard and Shenton Way, simple. And then you just terminate at Shenton Way. So this one is gonna be Sengkang West Depot to Shenton Way. The reason why my video is choppy is because, again, I didn't script any of this. I am planning a bus route live because I am unhappy with the way they crayon all their CDS, CD shopper, whatever you call it, right? So you can hear my thought process, my raw thought process, and how long I actually take to like crayon all of this. I mean, I thought of this in the past, but I was like, okay, now that they did this, okay, it solidifies everything. So because it's a full day service, right, I can afford to do this. And then the other bound, it's gonna be like this, Raffles Avenue. Again, I'm sorry, I really want to use Raffles Link, but apparently buses are not allowed to like just cut through like this, right? So I was like, okay, never mind. Nickel Highway, Raffles Boulevard, Temasek Boulevard, Avenue, like this, and then like this. So this is gonna be how the Monday to Friday version. Again, Monday to Friday version. For the Saturday, Jesus Christ. Okay, for the Saturday, Sunday, and public holiday version of 654, which I just conveniently named it Hex. Whatever you decide to call it, okay, whatever, I don't care. But it's gonna be conceptually the same thing. Except I'm going to send this thing to loop at Orchard. I mean, I kind of wish there was an Orchard ITH as of now, but okay. You know what? Just like this, like this. What the hell am I doing? Like this. Okay, so, oh my god, what am I drawing? Okay, like this, like this, like this. Okay. And all I'm gonna say is, to put it simply, 654 hex, I wanted to copy 36, alright? So, again, I kind of wish there was like a terminal within Orchard, but I'm like, you know what? Back to the good old days, shall we? And then obviously the other bound is like this, like this, like this, yow, and then go back to KPE. So, in case this is a little like wordy, okay, fine. Monday to Friday, I'm gonna make it go CBD. And then 654 hex, I'm going to make it conceptually a clone of 36 within the Orchard sector. It's gonna be a loop. Although I am going to make it so that even though it's technically a loop service, Jesus, my phone storage. Okay, even testing, am I recording? Okay, even though I want to make 654 hex a loop service, I want to do something to Tomlinson Road so that you're actually able to lay over buses there. I know this is kind of crazy, but like, this is the only solution if we're never gonna get like an Orchard ITH, right? So at Tomlinson Road, basically this bus stop over here, I want to make it so that like 654 hex is able to like conceptually cloud bus, layover, whatever you call it, so that people don't start complaining about like, oh my god, this bus service exceeds 2 hours. Why not you make this bus service rapid? So yes, to shut these people up, I'm just gonna make this place an official resting spot for the PCs. Just like in the case of 36, passengers are able to sit through, 36. They are able to sit through 654 hex, except that this will be turned into a designated place for bus captains to rest. I mean, you have to take account into like what's nearby. Do they even have space to lay over here, right? But conceptually, something along those lines. It doesn't have to be exactly at Tomlinson Road, But just conceptually, even if you do it along Orchard Boulevard, I want some sort of like layover space so that 654 hex you're able to like actually make the buses lay over here. You get what I mean? And the thing is, like, the more I think of it, I already made a 654 hex, right? So is there even a need for this thing to go to like CBD in the first place? I'm like, why not you guys just take 671? And why not you guys actually just take 654 in the first place? Okay, so you know, like the actual 679, I'm gonna just show it here. It actually goes into the city, right? So I'm like, based on my own plans, I don't think I even need this thing to go to the city. I'm like, your alternatives are just take this or just take this. So I'm like, never mind, I'm not gonna run this anymore. So officially, just take it that I want a 654 from Sengkang West Depot to Shenton Way for Monday to Friday. Again, this is live planning, which is why this video is so long. I want a 654 Saturday, Sunday, and public holiday, which is like Sengkang West Depot to Tomlinson Road Loop. I'm sorry for my handwriting. And then a 679, an actual, okay, so this one's gonna be a full day CDS. These two will also be full day, but they are city shoppers. So this conceptual 679, okay, I'm just gonna say this is city shopper, and then this is, this is CDS, right? I'm gonna make it so that 679 is now basically Punggol Coast, North Shore, Sengkang West, and then it loops at Orchard. But with that in mind, 679, I'm not gonna make it loop at Tomlinson. I'm going to make this copy 518. Okay, I'm using this as the modern day example because like not everybody is familiar with like the city shopper services, right? But basically, this thing it'll be like, cause I made this thing go CTE, right? Cause again, these two go via KPE, so I'm able to make this thing loop at Tomlinson Road. But since this thing is via CTE, what I'm gonna do is just copy the city shopper, like CTE, Momin, Newton, Scots, Orchard. Just make it call whatever stop you make it call, doesn't matter. It's gonna be like, as long as you don't cause too much congestion inside. And then I'm gonna make it like Bras Basah Temasek Boulevard, and then Rocher Road, Rocher Canal, Bukit Timah, and then go back to CTE. So 679, I need to be specific. When I say Orchard Loop, I mean loop in the same way as like, you know, 578 and 581, the old city shopper services. So I feel that this is more worth it, and this would actually offload Northeast line. Because you know why? The fucking Seletar line doesn't even go near the CBD or Orchard. So I'm like, you want something to actually offload NEL and actually be useful, you gotta introduce this. Something along those lines. Doesn't necessarily have to be like the exact same as mine, I'm just giving suggestions, but I feel this would be an actual NEL offloader. Especially if people want to go to Orchard Road to shop. And with that, I've cleared off this. Cleared off this as well. And I didn't make any changes to 673, right? So I can clear this off as well. So again, to reiterate, I'm not changing 673. Although if you wanted to change 673 instead of like making it go like this, you might even think of like letting it loop inside so that you can get like maximum catchment from 673. I mean, that's just my suggestion. Like, just make 673 go inside. For both AM and PM, up to you. What am I saying? I mean, think of extending 673. Do not change its existing bus stops. Just let it go and like actually go inside North Shore. Maybe that would help. So that's my plan for 673. I shouldn't say no changes, but okay, you get the idea. Okay, and I'm not touching this one either. I don't think 671 in this case has to be full day because I already gave you guys 654 and then I already gave you guys this new full day city shopper. So, okay, that's that. Because my fucking phone is running out of space, I'm like, okay, there's nothing wrong with 660. I'm just gonna keep, like, 660, the good thing is that it brings you to Dhoby Ghat very, very fast. So, no complaints about this one. The problem I have is basically the trio, not the trio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. These 8 idiots. Although, I will say that there is nothing wrong with 678. This one can be kept as it is because you know Punggol what am I saying? Punggol Coast, North Shore, I already gave them like ample. I gave them a city shopper. I didn't even touch 673. So they have both a CDS and a city shopper. I'm not gonna extend this. So 678, and it also could dead hit to Loyang Depot quite easily from Punggol Central. So I'm not gonna change this one. I've decided not to change this one. Oh, sorry, I forgot one more. There is this stupid bus service. You see, like, I feel like these two should honestly become one service. No other explanation. I feel that they should really become one service because it's really a waste of resources running both. Again, I do understand one is meant to be a CDS, one is supposed to be a city shopper, and you're not technically supposed to merge both of them, right? But I'm like, you're already short of resources, you might as well, right? But this one, like, again, the full day one is supposed to be this and this, like, according to my own plan. So if I already gave them full day CDS for both full day city shopper and the CDS, I give one full day CDS, one full day city shopper for Sengkang, and another city shopper for Sengkang West as well as like Punggol Coast, North Shore, that area. Do you really need this thing to be full day as well? I mean, just hub spoke to like my version of 679. So this one you could run it for peak hours, but I'm gonna try to consolidate these two. Let me just look at this stupid route again. Oh my god. Okay. No, but seriously, right? Like when you look at this thing like network-wise, just, oh my god. You don't have to make this full day, by the way, since I already made... Okay, I'm just repeating what I said, right? Where the hell is... Yeah, like, you don't have to make this full day. Like... And oh my god, like... You know you could just do... You guys, you know you could just do this, right? Like, just start at Punggol... Where did it start from? Like... Cadalore. Okay, got it. Cadalore, right? Yeah. Do this. Punggol Road. Punggol Drive. Yeah. And then just let it go here. I know it's windy. I know, but just do this. This service and this service, just merge them into one service. It's not difficult. And when I look at it's not even like you don't even need to prioritize Punggol Central. Just what you need to prioritize is Punggol Field, East, and Drive. And this is the most efficient way to like route them. And then you can just dead head to Loyang Depot. Just take it that whilst dead heading to Loyang Depot, you might as well call these stops. So your real catchment is like over here, but then this thing is like for a dead hit thingy. Why not just consolidate them? And the thing is, like, I know this might piss people off, but at least with these, I'll tell you what, you exit via Momin, right? All I'm gonna tell you is, just copy 518, okay, not really 518, but Momin, Newton, Scots, Orchard, right? So this consolidated bus service, Momin, Newton, Scots, Orchard, just copy 106 to Shenton Way. You would solve everything, honestly. And I know that like I said this thing shouldn't be full day, right? But honestly, if people really request this to be full day, why not? It's a much better solution than just like splitting these services into two, right? I don't understand why these services are two separate services. I know one is CDS and one is City Shopper, but like, might as well combine them, right? Okay, with that, now you look at this cloud service. Do you really even need Hougang Avenue 3 and Tampines Road? Like, this bus service, I'm not gonna even be specific about this one. This thing and this thing, you could just make them one service. It's the same as this thing. Even though it's like slower, at least you're like, at least like, you have more catchment. It's more, your services, even though you run a few trips per day, is more sustainable if you combine them. So all I'm gonna say is this concept just goes CBD, like basically Bayfront and Suntec. Okay, Suntec is technically optional. You don't really have to call Suntec. In fact, for the PM peak, as long as you call AM peak, you can call Suntec because that's where people actually work. But PM peak, honestly, just tell them take 111 or 857 out and just transfer to this bus service at Raffles Avenue. So again, AM peak, go inside. If PM peak, they want to come out, just tell them 111 or 857 and then just transfer to this bus service at Raffles Avenue. So CBF, Bayfront, CBD, Bayfront, Suntec, Orchard, combine all of them. 683 and 666. So conceptually, I don't really want them split. I would rather you like combine all of them so that you actually get demand in the first place. So because splitting them, I feel it's worse. It's not sustainable. So yeah. So basically what I was trying to say is that these two can merge. Right now, these two can merge as well. I get the point of this one. It's supposed to like serve Yio Chu Kang Road and Ang Mo Kio Avenue. Oh, okay. I get the difference between this. Now, 660, it actually serves, if I'm not mistaken, Avenue 4, 8, Hougang Avenue 2, and then it uses an underpass to like Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3. This one, instead, it goes like Hougang Avenue 9, Yio Chu Kang Road, and Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3. So this bus service in general, it's actually an attempt to bring back a little bit of like 511 and 512 in the past. I get the purpose of it. But I was like, the more I look at this thing doesn't even serve like Yio Chu Kang Road, Boundary Road, and Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1. This is not like 501, 502 at all. This is really more like 511, 512. So I was like, I don't even know how exactly you're gonna do it, but conceptually, why not you just merge with 660 and possibly think about like Serangoon North Avenue 1 a little bit, I guess. Where's Serangoon North Avenue 1? It's like, where is it? Yeah, this area. Maybe think about this one. I was like, why not you merge 660 and 680? Like, I'm not forcing you guys to convert 660 into like a full day service. I don't know if people actually want 660 to be like a full day service. Please interview the Buangkok residents. They're under Ang Mo Kio GRC, right? Or something along those lines. Please interview those people. If they want a full day service, this one and this one, you might as well just merge them, honestly. You know why? Because as long as you touch Dhoby Ghaut, you have buses to go to like Orchard or Somerset. I'm not saying MRT. You have buses to go to Orchard, Somerset. And if not, maybe think of some other way to serve Momi, Newton, Scots. In this case, if it's really that important. Again, I don't know the specifics about this, but again, please interview the Ang Mo Kio GRC residents, the Buangkok, Link, and Crescent people, as well as like those in fake Hougang. I think there are still Ang Mo Kio GRC. It's like Hougang Avenue 4 and 8. Yeah, I think it's still Ang Mo Kio GRC. You know, like the real 679 and the real 682, why are they so similar? I don't get it. Okay, in that case, again, I'm not going to say how exactly I would reroute 677 or 68, but again, Although I do admit this one, it's a little bit harder to pull off, but you know what? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a challenge. Tell me in the comment section, is it possible? I know you're gonna probably have to make a lot of sacrifices when it comes to like, is it possible to consolidate all of these 3 services? Okay, because I'm running out of like storage. I need to finish this video, but basically, I want to leave it to you guys. Tell me, is it possible to integrate all of these 3 services together, or at least 2 of them? Whether it's a full day CDS or City Shopper, or whether it's a peak hour only CDS or City Shopper, up to you. So please comment down below if you have any suggestions on how to fix this one. Cause this thing about 675, I just haphazardly like threw it in. So, but I want you guys to focus more on these 2. This one, it's an added bonus if you manage to actually integrate them, but it's not a must. But yeah. But again, recap of my own ideas. This one, City Shopper, full day. This one, Monday to Friday. This one, Saturday to Sunday. Honestly, should I make this run Monday to Friday as well? Should I make my own 679 run Monday to Friday as well? I'm not so sure, but I do definitely have a plan for 654. So yeah, thanks for watching. I know I usually don't say this, but bye.